You know, there's something missing here. What could we add? Got an idea. Stick around. So what I'm getting at, and I'm sure most of you have guessed, I like a gooseneck hitch. So gotta figure out what to do, because there's not anything stock that's going to work with this fabricated bed. It looks like, ooh, if I get down here, at one time, if you guys can see, there are brackets on both sides. They're 3/8 and equally spaced. So I'm assuming those were for a gooseneck at one point. I don't believe it had the in-bed rails like my Silverado had. This had to have had a gooseneck. So I'm going to reuse those brackets. And so I have taken measurements of the distance from the brackets to the bottom of the bed. And it has 2-inch quarter angle iron that runs the full length. It's 35 inches in between, inside to inside. And I can't remember my distance from the outside to here. I think it's 5 1/4. And it's 2 5/8 from the 2 5/8 from the deck to the bracket, 35 across, and 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 on the bracket. I've got those written down. I've made some drawings in Fusion, and I've come up with an idea. Let me show you what I've done. Alright, I'm using a BW GNRK 1500 weld-in ball kit, which is this piece here and the ball and the locking pin. And what I've come up here is I'm using 2x3 inch quarter wall, and I couldn't find another piece, so I got some 3/16 wall for here. And then this came pre-notched, which was kind of cool, but not as far as I need it. So I'll extend this. The idea is I want this to be flat against the bottom of the bed, and then these pieces will come across, but they need to be 1/4 inch lower to make up for, this is where the angle iron is. So I've got these over here. Now I drilled them at shop and I hadn't had a chance to clean them up yet, but they're going to sit in here like this. Put this one over here for counterbalance. There we go. Now the angle iron that's welded in the bed should right here and here. So this will be notched further to where this is actually 1/4 inch below this surface. And then what I'm going to do is, from there I'm going to take 2-inch 3/16 bar, flat bar, run it out, and bolt on to the existing brackets on the frame. And then I'm going to drill through this side, through the angle iron, and bolt through here and here on both ends to the bed. Right now my bed only has like 4 mounting locations. This will add 4 more. This is more for mounting the bed than it is for the hitch, but it also spreads the load further around everything else besides just the straps, but it should be just fine. Then I got to drill a whole 4-inch hole to the bed to release the ball. But that's what this is all about. Nice drop-in ball. I can flip it, but I'm not using it. But that's what we're going with this. I just got it tacked together for now. I'm going to get these notches cut, make sure everything's fitted, and then we'll take it back to work to where I've got a 300 amp welder. And I'm going to buzz all this stuff in. As far as this through here, once I figure out where these bars are going to end up, I'm pretty sure, if my measurements are right, that this one's going to end up about 2 inches sticking out, and that bracket come out this way to get that ball about 2 inches ahead of the axle. I got to read through the instructions again. I think 2 to 4 inches is what they want. If I need to, I'll just center these. I mean, that'd be about right. So that would move that ball forward maybe 4 inches. I gotta read the instructions again, see where I should settle at. But once I get that figured out, get it all tacked together, I'll take it to the shop, like I said, and hit it with a 300 amp welder. But that's where we're at for now. We're in the middle of a nice heat wave. It's 94 degrees out right now, humid. Not playing with much. Axle's still sitting here. I haven't gotten any further than the last video. I will be Father's Day. I was pretty worn out from my activities on Saturday, getting that deck built, and we went boating afterwards. Did some tubing, some water skiing, but I was pretty wiped out. We'll be getting back on that, getting the upper control arm mount cut and welded together, getting the coil bracket figured out how I want to do that. I do have the gears and the locker ordered for it, so they're en route. I need ball joints, and I need brakes and an install kit, and I think that's it for right now. I think I got everything else I need. Anyways, Salvage Garage, stick around, and we'll be back shortly once we get more done on either one. See you soon. Okay, excuse me, time to figure out where to put the ball in the bed. Some string lines down both sides over the axle center, or eyeballed anyway. And I've measured the inside of the bed, split the difference, and put my triangle up on the string, get my straight down drop, and then I've got 2-inch and 4-inch marked off. The instructions say 2 to 6 inches ahead of the axle center, so I'm not sure which one I'll use yet. They do give a diagonal measurement of 72 inches from the corner of the bed to the pivot. I go 4 inches, I think I'm at 67, roughly. 68. So 4 inches forward, I'm at 68, so I'm under the 72. Or I can do the 2-inch. I think I'll do some research to see what everybody recommends. And I'm 50 something. Axle center line here is to the back 51 inches to the center line of the axle of the back of the bed. So I need to do some research, get some numbers. I do have the outside of the bracket is 6 inches behind the center line, and it's a total of 19 inches. That works for both sides, degrees. So I'll be able to figure out where I want to put the crossbars on the cross members. Right now the center of the ball to the outside edge of the cross member is 6 inches. So that means for me to put a 2-inch strap in, I would at least do the front, the 2-inch, which is what I plan on, the minimum 2 or 4, whichever one I do. So that works out, the measurements will work. But that's where we're at for right now. Let's see, I think it's probably about it for tonight, as I'll break all this stuff down and do some research. I think I'm gonna get a snack and chill out and relax. We'll see you tomorrow. Alright, welcome back. So I got my Dana 60 locker. Got that showed up. And finally, my rough stuff steering pack showed up. I get the steering made up once I get everything welded together. I haven't done much more to the axle yet. I've been waiting on making some parts. I'm also working on getting a gooseneck hooked up here and built. So today I need to cut this down, put it in here so I can hang the tab on here, and then I need to bend this bar down just a touch. And then I've got my pieces made up, the bolt to the brackets on the frame, this crossbar. Now when I drew it up in CAD, it seemed to be I didn't need to notch these, but I'm going to have to notch these. Already got the other one done. Let's walk through this mess of a garage of mine. And I'll show you what I mean. The youngest son has to put a U-joint in his drive shaft, and we're just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. Crawl under that. Same thing here. Marked my spot. We'll drill a 4 1/4 inch hole in the deck here, about 4 inches forward of the axle. Now here's the pieces I made it up, and yeah, I have to notch. Those get welded on, and then both of these brackets here. And then that 2-inch piece goes in behind this 2-inch angle iron. And then I'm going to drill holes through here to add more mounting locations for the bed, because I currently only have the 4. Front here, in the middle, there's still nothing in the back. So I'm going to do that to add some more stability to the deck. I'm going to have to go and cut all these bolts. They're press-in style. There's no hex on the backside, and they've been there long enough that he tried to knock the nuts off with the impact, and it just spins on the frame. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut these and replace these, which is fine because I need to get the holes drilled in these anyway. These are currently slotted, and I'm just going to do a hole through the middle for them. Put a 5/8 bolt on these, and then we'll 1/2 inch bolts for the deck. But we're going to get that worked on today. It'll be slow progress. Said it's supposed to be 95 today with just the heat. It'll be well over 100 with the index. So working a little bit at a time, go cool off. Work a little bit at a time, cool off. But stick around. We'll get some stuff done. Back in a minute. All right, packed in here. Perfect. Weld across the top there. Something to take this to work and do the whole thing. It's a heavy welder. So I get it all tacked up as an assembly here. And burn all in at the shop. Okay, let's see. I don't think I need to weld that front side, it doesn't really matter. Alright, we'll turn the welder off and take a break. Back in a minute. Okay, this is my outrigger. These bolts are the frame brackets. And this is where it's going to bolt through the bed. The angle iron that's welded to the bed should fit right in here. Measured that out at 5 9/16 from this edge to here. This is a piece that will be sliding up and down here. I'll give you my point for that. So let's go ahead and get this thing tacked in place and trial fitted. these bolts to the frame brackets captures up underneath the angle iron. This comes up underneath and we weld it on the bottom side. So I get these bolted in, get the other one fabricated, get these cut down, notches cut to where they need to be, get the hole cut in the bed, get the brackets pulled off, drilled, new hardware to put those back on, hardware to mount these. Got a lot of work yet to do. Stick around, we'll knock it out as best we can, as quickly as we can. Let this cool down and clean it up. I gotta get the other one cut, get it welded. From there I need to cut the bolts. Look at me. From there I need to cut the bolts off the frame, get those brackets off and drilled so I can get these bolted up in place. I need to get the holes drilled through the angle iron. So I got a lot to do. The sun's starting to come around and warm up this corner, so I'm going to take a break here and let it pass through, because once it's beyond this tree, this is all shade for the rest of the evening. So take a break, let the sun do its thing, and get these other pieces cut and welded together. Be back. Now we got the 4 notches cut. I go ahead and chamfer them out, get them cleaned up. That one fell on the ground, but that one needs to cut out yet still, and get it looking like that. And that's about all I can do with this today, until I take this to work and get it cleaned up and welded up. Let me get these chamfered up. We'll be right back. Okay, I got all the cuts chamfered out. I can weld onto it real nice. This is what's going to happen here once all said and done. Is once I figure out where this goes, slides back and forth. Get that locked in. That'll weld in there. And I can see that I've got a gap here that I'm going to have to bend this rod down, which I fully expected I was going to have to. But I still need to notch this one and get it welded up. And that's just about as far as this will go until I get it fitted in the truck. And once it's fitted, I get these horizontal marked and figured out. And then I can mark them, tack them, take it into work, and get it all burned in with a proper heavy-duty welder. The last thing I want is this thing to break loose. Don't want that whatsoever. So anyways, that's about it for today. This is Out with the Garage. Hope you like what you see. Subscribe, comment below. Tell me if you got any comments, questions, whatever. More than happy to answer your questions. Hope you all have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.